My dear friends, I want to let you know that Jeannie Kelly and the Kelly Group are here to help you with all of your credit repair needs. However, on top of that, what they're doing is what we're seeing Fannie and Freddie do right now too, but you can do this with them for all of your non-agency and your agency loans, all of your FHA, your Fannie, Freddie, Jenny. They will get your rental ratings and they'll get those put on those credit reports and increase your scores by like 40 to 100 points. Question, if you have credit scores that are 100 points higher, how many more people could you put into homes? Check it out. Jeannie Kelly and the Kelly Group. All you have to do is click this banner right over there. Did you know that Fannie and Freddie are required to have stress tests performed circa Dodd-Frank to see how they would respond to a meltdown similar to what we saw in 2008, the Great Recession? Side note, why do they call it the Great Recession? It should be called the horrible recession. But back to the point. Stress testing for the GSEs. In the FHFA's 2021 scenario of a stress test, GDP would fall by 4%, unemployment would increase to 6.7%, and consumer price inflation would drop to about 1%. Good luck on that one. As a result of the severe decline in economic activity and low inflation levels, the 10-year Treasury immediately falls to a trough of about 0.25%. In addition, home prices would decline by about 23.5% nationally, and commercial real estate prices would fall by 35%. The home price decline is slightly less severe, while the commercial real estate price decline was unchanged relative to the 2020 stress test, according to Fannie Mae. So that's the scenario, and guess what? Fannie and Freddie, they did okay. Fannie and Freddie would make it through this scenario without any significant additional federal or Treasury support. Why? Well, because in this scenario, the GSEs would still make a net income of $10.2 billion in 2021. And that seems reasonable when we consider how many people actually want to buy houses who can't do that right now. And speaking of the last meltdown, did you know that the GSEs, Fannie and Freddie, and HUD had low and moderate income mortgage mandates that required a full half of all GSE loans had to go to low and moderate income families. The problem was the GSEs could not find enough low to moderate income families that could meet the GSE's underwriting guidelines and requirements. So to meet their congressional mandates, Fannie and Freddie started purchasing subprime loans that had much more liberal guidelines. That's a nice way of putting it, isn't it? We all know how that whole thing worked out, don't we? It goes something like this. When you give somebody a mortgage who cannot afford a mortgage, understand a mortgage, or execute the terms of said mortgage, that mortgage is going to go into default, right? I mean, this one's kind of a no-brainer, isn't it? Now, it makes you wonder, why in the hell did Fannie and Freddie have these mandates that ensured that they would make bad deals with bad loans, with bad borrowers that were destined to default? All I can say is that's Congress for you. Guys, this one is a broken record. If ever there was a broken record, if ever there was a broken record, if ever... You get the idea. The road to hell is always paved with good intentions, with little regard for unintended consequences. That's a term that keeps coming up. With that said, guess what? The FHFA has new affordable housing benchmarks proposed for Fannie and Freddie. Boy, I've heard this one before. The latest policy changes are to try to boost the share of minority home ownership. The proposed rule would set higher requirements for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac loan purchases in minority and low-income census tracts. If Fannie and Freddie, get this, do not make the proposed goals, which would take effect starting 2022, they could be subject to enforcement actions and or penalties from their regulator, the FHFA. That's right. If Fannie and Freddie don't meet their goals, they're gonna get fined by their overseer. Brilliant! Guess what? That's gonna make the GSEs go outside of their guidelines and find non-agency loans with higher thresholds for risk, aka crappy loans that are going to default, and buy them. Because that's what they do, guys. That's what they've done, and that's what they're going to do again. Question, are the same people who planned the Afghan withdrawal the same people who are making these housing mandates? No one told you life was gonna be this way. Because it sure in the hell seems like it, doesn't it? Make sure you share this show with everybody that you know. That would make me totally happy. When you share it, I see it, and that's really cool. It helps me, it helps you. Keep the conversation going, guys. That said, I will catch you manana. Chicken chow mein, my friends. Chicken chow mein.